Phil Dampier blasts Meghan after her victory during the legal court. She will not has any vindicated with her legal win, as she remain universally hated among the public. The Duchess of Sussex, 40, won her legal case against the Mail on Sunday this morning despite forgetting to tell judges parts of her evidence. She had sued the newspaper after it published parts of a personal and private letter sent from her to Dad Thomas Markle in 2018. The Duchess won her case earlier this year when a High Court judge ruled in her favour without a full trial. But Publishers Associated Newspapers Limited, ANL, brought an appeal against the decision and at the three-day hearing in November, argued the case should go to a trial on Meghan's claims against the publisher, including breach of privacy and copyright. The appeal was dismissed by Court of Appeal judges today, but despite winning over the courts, royal biographer Phil Dampier believes Meghan is yet to win over the public. Meghan will feel vindicated and joyful that she has won this battle, but I'm not sure she is going to win the war, Mr. Dampier told The Sun Online. There's no doubt in my mind that popularity of Harry and Meghan has plummeted in the UK, and even though she may regard this as a victory over the press, which they want to control, in the course of public opinion I think they are definitely losing, and I don't think this decision will change the public's attitude towards them. The author of Royally Suited, Meghan and Harry in their own words, added, "They have proved to not completely tell the truth in the past in the Oprah Winfrey interview and also during the proceedings of this court case, and I think people will still remember that despite this victory for her in the courts." However, Associated Newspapers has announced in a statement it is considering an appeal to the British Supreme Court. The statement read, "We are very disappointed by the decision of the Court of Appeal. It is our strong view that judgment should be given only on the basis of evidence tested at trial, and not on a summary basis in a heavily contested case, before even disclosure of documents. No evidence has been tested in cross-examination, as it should be, especially when Mr. Knauf's evidence raises issues as to the Duchess's credibility." After People magazine published an attack on Mr. Markle, based on false briefings from the Duchess's friends wrongly describing the letter as a loving letter, it was important to show that the letter was no such thing. Both the letter and People magazine also seriously misrepresented the reasons for Mr. Markle's non-attendance at the royal wedding. The articles corrected these matters and raised other issues of public interest, including the reasons for the breakdown in the relationship between the Duchess and her father. "We are considering an appeal to the Supreme Court in the United Kingdom." Royal biographer Angela Levin today said she was surprised the courts hadn't taken the forgotten evidence as something very important, adding the ruling was a very, very bad day for people who believe in a free press. Her comments came after Meghan accused ANL of treating the court case as a game with no rules. She added, "In the nearly 3 years since this began, I have been patient in the face of deception, intimidation and calculated attacks." Ms. Levin said, "She's attacked the Mail on Sunday for wanting to sell more newspapers. But she's taken it and twisted it to suit her own beliefs and her grandiosity. This was somebody who was not a very well-known actress who married a prince, and it's all gone to her head. She feels she wants to control everything really." Piers Morgan, saying that the case was beyond parody, and continue bashed Meghan for this statement. He wrote for Mail Online, "She can claim victory all she likes after this court case, but all it really did was expose her real character to the world and the cold hard two-faced reality at the heart of Meghan and Harry's attitude to privacy." He added, "If I were her, I'd stick the celebratory champagne back in the fridge today. Thanks to this court case, we've now seen what the real Meghan looks like, forked tongue and all." Meghan sensationally won the Privacy Row in February after it published extracts of the handwritten note to her dad. She said the articles misused her private information, infringed her copyright and breached the Data Protection Act. Lord Justice Warby said publication of the letter was manifestly excessive and hence unlawful. During the three-day appeal hearing, the court was presented with a string of sensational claims. Meghan even issued an apology to the court for misleading them after suffering an apparent memory lapse when it was revealed she had briefed an aide over bookfinding freedom. Other allegations centered around the letter she wrote her dad in 2018 that breached her copyright and privacy. Meghan maintained previously she sent her estranged father the heartfelt 5-page letter after they reached breaking point. But in a fresh statement, she said she only wrote the 1,250-word note on advice of senior royals A and B after significant pressure was put on her and Prince Harry. people will still remember that despite this victory for her in the courts. However, Associated Newspapers has announced in a statement it is considering an appeal to the British Supreme Court. The statement read, "We are very disappointed by the decision of the Court of Appeal. It is our strong view that judgment should be given only on the basis of evidence tested at trial, and not on a summary basis in a heavily contested case, before even disclosure of documents. No evidence has been tested in cross-examination, as it should be, especially when Mr. Knauff's evidence raises issues as to the Duchess's credibility." After People magazine published an attack on Mr. Markle, based on false briefings from the Duchess's friends wrongly describing the letter as a loving letter, it was important to show that the letter was no such thing.